Like this video right now or you're getting 13 years of bad luck.
Yo, what's good, boys? It is your boy Splashy. So if you watched my previous video or my most recent video, I posted a settings video where I went through all the settings of Fortnite. I gave you guys the best tip of every setting, whether that was sensitivity, gun slots, building sensitivity, etc. And I asked you guys to leave me questions in the video, and the most frequently asked question that I got in the video was, how do I find the right sensitivity in the right settings? So people were like very confused what settings to use, because I know the biggest problem with people finding, their perfect setting is that they go on YouTube and they type best Fortnite controller setting and they just copy the top video, and then they try it out and it just doesn't work out. So you need to find your own sensitivity, and in today's video I'm basically going to be explaining the best ways to find the right sensitivity for you. I'm going to be explaining every playstyle, so that's if you play competitive, if you're an IGL, a fragger, or even a support player, or if you play creative free builds, or if you're a competitive zone wars player. I'm going to give you guys all those tips in today's video, and I'm also going to be going over some pros settings that you guys should definitely try also. But the first thing we need to figure out is, what are you trying to do with Fortnite? Are you trying to be a competitive player, a zone wars player, or do you just want to do crazy free builds for your YouTube video? Once you figure that out, everything is going to be way more easy, and then you can just keep on watching the video. So when it comes to competitive, a lot of people mistake how to actually do good in competitive. A lot of people think it's mainly towards mechanics. If you have good mechanics, you're mainly gonna place, you're probably gonna make money, where that's not the case at all. When it comes to actually playing competitive and placing an event, the first thing that's the most important thing is your game sense and also your aim. Your aim is way more important than your mechanics in competitive game modes. And you guys know me, I'm a flashy controller player. So when I play competitive and when I play arena, some events, cups, whatever it may be, sometimes I overthink and I think I need to actually really mechanically eliminate this person, but then I just lose because the other person has better aim and better game sense, and it just goes wrong. All right, so you need to have good aim and game sense first of all. Now, what's the best sensitivities and settings for just aim and mostly competitive? Well, you want to have something that's not too fast. So what I mean by that, you want to make sure your dead zone is steady, because if you have a controller with a lot of drift and then you aim at a player, your crosshair is going to be going left, right, up, down without you doing anything. That's why I recommend dead zone being a little bit higher than 7 when you play competitive. Your sensitivity when it comes to building and editing, you need to make sure that it's not too fast but not too slow, because when you get shot from the back, you need to make sure that you can spin around and build immediately, because we know nowadays in Fortnite everyone has a good aim, whether you play on keyboard or on controller. We have L2 and we have aim assist, but keyboard players have Kovacs and aim courses to practice as well. So you need to make sure that you have a steady build and edit sense. And also when it comes to your look horizontal and look vertical speed, you need to make sure that it's almost the exact as the build and edit mode, where it's not too fast but not too slow, so it just matches the right playstyle. Now, a lot of you guys are going to be like, alright, especially but how do I choose it? What I would recommend is trying to apply your playstyle into your favorite controller settings. And what do I mean by this? So I'm going to pop up Days sensitivity right now so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. So as you guys can see, this on screen right now is Days controller settings. So if you're somebody that really enjoys the way Day plays and you want to be just like him, then definitely try these settings. So he has build mode and edit mode 1.9, 1.9, and then his look horizontal and vertical speed 43, 43. So that's just the perfect speed. And then when we come down here, he has 0 on everything, which includes boost. And I said in my last video that boost is really bad, so it's very nice to see that Day also knows it. Now, if you look at his different ADS, he has 9.9, which is also good. I play 7.7, but definitely try 9.9 out. And then when we go to his dead zone, he has 10.10. And like I said from the beginning, boys, dead zone needs to be higher than 7 if you're playing competitive, because you don't want to get stick drift when you're aiming and you're trying to hit someone from maybe 200 pump, or maybe you want to laser someone from the sky with an AR. You need to have steady aim. So therefore 1010 dead zone is almost near perfect for competitive. Now here's also a little trick when it comes to trying out their settings. Let's say you're trying out day settings, but you feel like his building is too slow or his editing setting is too slow, then you can bump them up a little bit, but try adapting to what he has right now. So if these your favorite, then you can try these out. So right now on the screen we have Miro. So Miro is someone who won FNCS on the NA region, so congrats to him. He's one of the best controller players of all time. This guy is literally like probably the best controller player at the moment. So these are his settings. So he plays 2.1, 2.1, so that's 2 more than what they plays, and then he plays 41, 41 right here, which is 2 less than what they plays. Now if you go down here, he also has 0 on everything for boost, which is good to see. And then horizontal and vertical speed, he has 6 and 8. So he has different on both. So if you're somebody that's into that, then maybe try out his settings. And then when we come down here, his dead zone is 9-8. So from the beginning, as I said, above 7, you can see that even Miro plays above 7 dead zone, because you need steady aim and consistent editing and building, boys. Now like I said, with day settings, if you like Miro's playstyle and you want to be like him, or you want to play like him, you can copy down these settings. But make sure that if you feel like your editing is too slow, your building is too fast, lower the setting, make it a bit faster. It's all up to you. Before we get into creative and zone war playstyle settings, I need to make sure I tell you guys something important. You don't need to completely copy these people's settings, but you need to get at least inspiration from them, because they and Miro are the top controller players right now, so their settings make sense. I think you guys understand that. So it's very important that all of you take inspiration from them. Maybe if you see 2.1, 2.1 up here, you may feel like, okay, well I actually like it a bit faster, so I'm gonna do 2.2 on both. So you just get inspiration from their settings and you apply it to yours. If we're gonna be talking about zone war players, we have to mention Parm, because he's probably one of the best controller zone war players of all time. So Parm has actually got pretty unique settings, as you guys can see on the screen right now. He plays 1.9 build and 2.7 edit mode. So what Parm is somebody that likes to edit very fast but have very consistent builds, so his building is not too fast, which makes the clips look really crisp. And when we look at his horizontal and vertical speed, he has pretty decent 43, 43, just like Day. So this is like the area that every good controller player stays on, which is like 41, 42, 43, and 44. Nothing more, nothing less. That's literally the perfect for these vertical and horizontal speed. Now if you guys can see, Day plays on boost, vertical and horizontal. What I would do, if you're going to be trying out his settings, I would turn these to 0, because a average controller player would not be able to fully understand boost, and it's very tricky to get down. So I think Day has played with it for a while, so he knows. But if you want to completely copy his settings, then he plays 4 here and then 4 here. When we come down to the different ADS, he plays 16, 16. So this is actually very, very high. And Day is somebody that doesn't really aim in that much when he plays zoners, because when he plays zoners, you need to make sure that you can hit the pump quick and not really aim in. So when he aims in, I think he wants to get that fast response, so up, down, left, right. But when we come down to his dead zone, it is the highest this far. It's 12, 12. And if I'm not mistaken right now, I think Parm played higher dead zone before, but he lowered it to 12, 12. And this just makes sense now, because he plays super high here. That is one of the main reasons why his ADS is so high. If you look up here, 16, 16. So if you're somebody that really likes Parm's playstyle, then you should definitely try out his settings and maybe just adjust them a little bit so that it fits you perfectly. Now a lot of you guys may be asking, why can I not use Day settings in creative or Miro's? Well, you actually can. It's actually very similar when it comes to competitive and zone wars. Both of them have similar settings of the advantage when you play both of them. Alright, so you can use Parm settings in competitive game modes, and you can use Day setting in zone war tournaments, wagers, whatever you may do. So lastly, we're going to be going over some very good creative warriors that you guys should be copying if you want that playstyle. Now if you want the most crazy sensitivity and the most crazy creative free builds, then you should definitely look into face sway setting. Now face sway settings are very extreme, and these are some of the settings that I got inspired from when I built up my settings to what they are today. And I'm going to show you guys my settings that look very similar to face sway, and what I've done personally is that I've got inspiration from his settings. I haven't completely copied them down to mine because I think some of his settings don't fit how I play. But if we look here, he plays 2.3 on build and edit, which is the highest so far, and he plays 47 on both horizontal and vertical speed, which is also the highest so far. And then we would come down to ADS, he plays 23 on both, which is extremely high, and this is by far the highest as well. So we can see that sway plays the fastest sensitivity and settings out of any controller player that I've showed you guys in this video, and that is to get down those crispy fast movements when you're free building. And then lastly, when we come to dead zone, he plays the dead zone that I do not recommend, which is 5.5. If you're going to be trying out face sway settings, definitely bump this up to 6 or 7. I would recommend 7 on both of these, which is what I play. But if you really want to be like face sway, like identical, then definitely do 5.5, of course. So yeah, as you guys can see, face sway settings are pretty extreme, and I recommend you guys, if you want to have this type of playstyle, definitely take inspiration at least from these. You don't have to copy them down, but take at least some inspiration. So now we're going to be going over my settings, and if you don't know how I play, you can watch my montages. There's a lot of them on my YouTube, but if you want to play like me, then you can definitely get inspiration from my settings. So I play 2.4 on these, which is the highest out of any controller player in today's video, and then I play 44, which is the standard for every controller player. And then here I have 7.7 on ADS, and that's because I don't like it when it's too fast, and most controller comp players have it low as well. And then when we come down to dead zone, I play 7.7, which is what I recommend for most of you guys that want to be creative warriors. If you want to be a comp player, you want to bump this up to like 9, 10, 11 even. But yeah, I hope this video helped you guys to at least understand a little bit how to find your settings. Now I can't just keep recommending settings for you guys. You guys have to find them out yourself. So just take it into inspiration, listen to everything I said in today's video, and just understand what I mean by comp playstyle, zone rule playstyle, and creative playstyle. They all have different types of settings and sensitivities that suit those playstyles. So if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, notification turned on, and also make sure to use the code Splashy for an Amazon.